Sunflower oil is a fat extracted from the seeds of the sunflower plant. It is one of the most widely consumed vegetable oils in the world. Every year, hundreds of millions of liters of sunflower oil are sold worldwide. But how is oil extracted from sunflower seeds? Manufacturing. The sunflower is native to North America and has been cultivated by indigenous cultures for centuries. As the 19th century progressed, sunflower oil began to gain popularity as an edible oil in Europe. Throughout the 20th century, advances in oil extraction technology, such as mechanical presses and refining processes, allowed for higher quality and greater quantities of sunflower oil. The process of making sunflower oil begins with the seeds, in this case a dark variety of sunflower seeds. During the growth of the plants, constant monitoring of seed development is carried out. The farmer will observe the color and condition of the flower heads to determine when they are ready for harvest. This involves checking that the seeds have reached their maximum size and that the petals have fallen. The decision of when to harvest sunflower seeds is based on the maturity of the heads and seeds. The heads should show a brown color, and the seeds should be full and easily separate from the head. In addition to seed maturity, weather conditions also influence the timing of the harvest. Ideally, the harvest will take place on a sunny and dry day to avoid excessive moisture in the seeds and reduce the risk of damage to the heads during the cutting process. After the flowers turn brown or black, a harvester collects them and separates the seeds. The mechanical harvester cuts the sunflower heads and moves them through a series of cutting and screening systems. The heads are moved through conveyor belts and rotating drums that separate the seeds from the heads. The sunflower heads undergo a threshing process inside the harvester. The rotating drums and vibrations help detach the seeds from the heads. After separating the seeds from the heads, the sunflower seeds are poured into trucks and delivered to the oil factory. Trucks carrying 22,000 kilos of seeds arrive at the factory for classification. The quantities are recorded, and the delivery documentation is verified to ensure traceability and seed quality. The seeds are unloaded into storage silos, where they are kept under controlled temperature and humidity conditions. It is important to avoid exposure to moisture and contamination during this stage. The seeds undergo an initial cleaning process to remove larger impurities such as stones, soil, leaves, and other debris. This is done using cleaning equipment such as sieves and air separators. 25,000 tons of seeds are classified every hour. If the seeds have a high moisture content, they may need to undergo an additional drying process to reduce their moisture to levels suitable for oil extraction. After cleaning and classification, the seeds are stored in specific silos or containers until they are ready to move on to the next stage of the process. It is ensured that the sunflower seeds used in the extraction process are in good condition and meet quality standards. Cleaning and analyzing the seeds are essential to ensure that the oil produced is of good quality and meets industry standards. Next, the sunflower seeds go through a dehulling process. This stage is essential to remove the outer shell. The dehulled seeds, called kernels, are the ones that will be processed to extract the oil. The kernels are cleaned again to remove any remaining shells or impurities that may have been left after dehulling. Next, the sunflower kernels undergo a roasting process. Roasting is done to enhance the flavor and aroma of the oil, make the kernels easier to crush, and break the seed cells to release the oil they contain. The kernels are roasted at a controlled temperature to prevent oil degradation and achieve the desired results. At this stage, the roasted sunflower kernels are introduced into a series of mechanical presses. The internal temperature is maintained below 40 degrees Celsius. The presses apply pressure to the kernels to squeeze out the oil. The press operator must monitor and adjust the speed, pressure, and temperature. Keeping a press cool is not an easy task due to the heat generated by the seeds when crushed. At this moment, it is crucial to control the temperature. If the seeds are too hot, it means heat is accumulating, and they will have to open the outlet more to reduce the pressure inside. As the kernels are compressed, the oil is released and flows outward. The oil is collected and separated from the remaining material, which is a mixture of kernel residues and oil. 100 kilograms of seeds pass through this press per hour, producing 38 liters of oil, a low volume but high quality. The seed residues will later be sold to produce animal feed. Cold pressing yields less oil than other methods, which is why it is a process used only by small specialized companies. Large vegetable oil manufacturers usually use solvents and high-pressure, high-speed presses. This produces much more oil, but it also generates heat that darkens the oil and reduces its aroma and nutritional value. After the mechanical extraction process, what remains is a seed cake. This cake contains crushed kernel remnants and may contain small amounts of residual oil. The seed cake can be used for animal feed production due to its nutritional content. Once the oil has been extracted, it is pumped through a filtration system. A series of steps are necessary to clean, clarify, and filter the oil before it is ready for consumption. The extracted oil may contain impurities such as solid particles and small amounts of water. To allow these impurities to settle, the oil is stored in sedimentation tanks. During this process, the heavier particles sink to the bottom of the tank and separate from the oil. To accelerate the separation process, the oil undergoes centrifugation. High-speed centrifuges separate solid particles and water from the oil, allowing for a more effective and faster separation. The oil passes through coarse filters to remove larger solid particles. These filters retain larger particles and materials that may have remained in the oil after sedimentation and centrifugation. Fabric filters allow the oil to pass through but prevent seed residues from getting through. The oil passes through the filters several times until it obtains a clear color. Mastering the art of cold pressing requires a lot of experience, but the result is a much healthier oil with more flavor. The oil undergoes a finer filtration using filtering media such as fabrics and filter sheets. This filtration retains even smaller particles and helps clarify the oil, leaving it almost free of impurities. To remove volatile compounds that contribute to unwanted odors and flavors in the oil, a deodorization process is carried out. The oil is heated to high temperatures under vacuum and passed through a deodorization column. The volatile compounds evaporate and are eliminated, leaving an oil with a more neutral flavor and aroma. The clarified, filtered, and deodorized oil is cooled and then stored in storage tanks under controlled temperature and light conditions. This ensures that the oil maintains its quality during storage. Once the oil has gone through all the refining stages and has undergone a quality analysis to ensure it meets established standards, it is packaged in plastic bottles. During packaging, precautions are taken to avoid exposure to air and light, which could degrade the quality of the oil. The equipment turns the plastic bottles upside down and injects pressurized air to remove any dust or dirt from the interior. Then, the bottles are rotated back to the filling position. Once filled, the bottles are sealed with a dispensing cap. Each bottling machine in the factory fills 22,000 bottles per hour. The labeling machines operate at the same speed. They apply glue to the back of each label and then place the edge of the label on the bottle. The bottle rotates, wrapping the rest of the label around itself. As the bottles exit the labeling machine, a robot separates them into groups of 12. Then, it picks up and places each dozen into a shipping box. The containers filled with sunflower oil are stored in appropriate and controlled areas. Temperature, humidity, and exposure to light are kept under control to preserve the quality of the oil. Once the oil has been properly packaged and stored, it is ready to be distributed to retailers, supermarkets, and other points of sale. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.